Get out your band-aids with Dr. Chocolate or whatever you're selling. Okay, now he's shirtless. Don't feel like I should be looking at this. Hello there to all the lovely people watching this video, and welcome back to Don't Eat the Cashier. So if you're new here, hi there, my name's raccoonreload, but you guys can call me Kay, and you're watching part 2 to my Don't Eat the Cashier series, which is a monster dating simulator. So if you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend that you go watch that first before watching this one, and there'll be a link in the description to do so. But without further ado, let's dive right back into Don't Eat the Cashier. Obviously, the last episode we spent with a monster jester named 𝗪𝗫𝗏, and now we have just met this new character, which we don't know the name of yet, whose face is like half missing. Not too sure what this guy is, what type of monster he is, but let's find out. Okay, you look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. The Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor. Give him a thumbs up. How's life, sir? Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. When will the Lord take my sinful soul? Break down in tears. You don't want to work here anymore. Say this one. He lets out a gurgling, raspy laugh. Oh, he liked that. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. Honestly, I really don't want to know. My inner archive labelled, I don't want to know this, is at risk of bursting from overflow tonight. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. Is he a vampire? He tried to smile. It could be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again, briefly, to clear his throat. Mine? Recall in horror. Don't kill me, I'm already having a bad streak in life. We don't do transfusions here, not IV drips, just discount rot. How about tomato juice, strong vintage? Let me see what we have. Let's say that one. If you don't stop annoying me, no transfusion will help you. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Okay, it seems like all we can do is go find him his blood. A strange pressure builds in my head, and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the centre of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood, right now. Is he like hypnotising me? My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible? Or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Scream, Bob, where's the blood? Go to the food for mouth section. Go to the section supplies for self-propelling gearbox. Go to the section foaming body washes for leather bags. Go to the section items that inspire pensiveness. Let's see if Bob will help. For a moment, silence hangs, broken only by the hum of distant refrigerators. Then comes the sound of pure cosmic irritation. In your blood vessels, organism. But if you mean blood for sale, then check the mouth food section. Don't disturb me, I'm busy doing business. Okay, so I pissed off the vampire and Bob now, it seems. Not a great start. Food for mouth section. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. It's a bit racist. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Dense energy blocks for chewing, infused nutritional floors, food afraid of heat. I don't know which one to pick. I don't know what one's the right answer. Don't want to annoy this vampire any more than I already have. Let's try this one. Here are endless shelves of drinks, Next to Coca-Cola are bottles labelled liquid regret and primordial broth, now with nucleotides. Cans labelled 𝗪𝗚𝗄𝗃, does that maybe say? We'll say 𝗪𝗚𝗃 vodka, 𝗀𝗪𝗃𝗃. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. What is 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 again? I recognise like the name, but I don't know what it is. I go back. I hear knocking. It's the dry rhythmic tapping of knuckles on a laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Okay, said food afraid of heat. The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizzas are gremlin cryo capsules, and among the buckets of ice cream you can find flavours like minty tritium and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Matter of lesser life forms, spare parts of human organisms, product of animal fauna exploitation with fruit pieces. Maybe look at the spare parts of human organisms. This section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. I really wish you'd stop putting big words like this in. Glass jars filled with murky liquids sit on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that reads Kevin. Take blood of human organism Kevin, taste of unfulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations. Take blood of human organism homeless, high content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. Take blood of human organism Michael, taste of efficient resource and artifact accumulation. Okay, let's maybe take Michael's blood, that sounds the best so far, if we have to pick out of all the bloods. The blood in this jar has a rich, almost glowing ruby hue. It looks healthy and full of energy. Michael, whoever you were on top. Champion's blood flowed through you. You were probably something like an energy drink for the undead. And yet, here you are, in a jar. There's something to ponder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You already? His voice carries genuine surprise and clear relief. Well, good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. I don't like this guy so far. He's been nothing but rude. My client finishes the jar and then grimaces. Ugh, for crying out loud. What the hell is this crap? He reads the note on the jar. Michael. Well, you're a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can't kill him a second time. Tastes like a happy family, a successful career, a retirement account, and this jerk probably never even had cockroaches. Did he want it to taste like disappointment? I don't know. At least he's now liquid Michael in a jar. Stay silent. Yeah, I'm going to stay silent. I'm not saying anything. He seems to be getting irritated by me. Cool that you found human blood. Good job. You're sharp. Glad to please you, sir. I'm glad you no longer want to eat me. Feel free to ask. It took longer to get to the rat. What rat? Say that. Really? You're wrong there, babe. The closest was your carcass. So you can thank your lucky... Okay, let's maybe not say that. Feel free to ask. Ask what? I'm confused. He gives me a crooked smile from his newly restored, rogue-like face. I'm going to wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. The only one boring me right now is you. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the bloodstains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me. Oh, he looks completely different now? I feel like I preferred him before. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. Yeah, that is definitely a good description of his face. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. I'm good by myself. Oh, he's called David. Just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. There's werewolves? I want to meet a werewolf. I'm normally a vampire girly, but this guy's being a bit of a dick, so... I'm David, by the way, a vampire, as you may have already guessed. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part about the walnut. Nice to meet you, Kay. I'm crystal like champagne. Let's just say our name, I guess. Okay, Kay. I knew a Kay once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. She was a good girl, until she got packed up. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. No kidneys for you. I suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Check the catalogue. Yes, exactly 10 categories. Say nothing, look away. I almost don't want to speak to him. Okay, I kind of want to see what happens if we just look away. Relax, babe. Just kidding. Do not call me babe. I am currently somewhat taken by a demon jester. So back off. He says it with delight. Now he's the king of this dump and the main authority. He backed me into a corner with one lousy story. Now I have a vampire here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is to not accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. I don't want to be friendly with this guy. He's not been very nice. Are you sure you're a vampire, not a chupacabra? They drink blood too. Since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Don't you guys prefer capes and ruffles anymore? Thanks for not eating me, David. In reality, you're still a bit shaken from what just happened. Say nothing, silently wipe the counter. Okay, maybe let's go with the silent act still. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn mutts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely. And just being a vampire doctor fall under my duties. I think Bob said it was mandatory. Point at the wound, let me help. Point at the wound, I don't want to help you, but my employment contract requires me to treat creatures that come here. Let's say that. David lets out a dry chuckle. Wow, what honesty. What if the creature doesn't want your treatment, Dr. Cox? It's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. If you don't let yourself be treated, my boss will lock us both in a dimension of horror where we'll be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years. I see. You're afraid of doctors, huh? Such a tough guy, yet scared of getting treated. Say contrarily? Is that what that says? You mentioned werewolves. It's probably not just a scratch. Let me try to help, okay? Let's poke fun at him. Afraid? I'm not scared of anything in this life. I'm the most fearless bloodsucker in the world. I'm not afraid of some nurse with crooked hands. My hands are not crooked, thank you. I've dealt with such crap that you... Wait a second. Are you trying to challenge me? I shake my head with the most sincere look of innocence on my face. Fine, damn it. Hand over your first aid kit. If another werewolf isn't hiding in there, I have no reason to worry. I've only just noticed this creepy face here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not too sure who or what that is, but it's very unnerving. I decide to keep quiet about the very real possibility that there might actually be a werewolf hiding in there. I'm not sure of anything at this cursed gas station. Damn you, go ahead. I don't have to help you, you knob. Get out your band-aids with Dr. 𝗪𝗏𝗧 or whatever you're selling. Okay, that was shitless. Don't feel like I should be looking at this. David sheds his jacket, shirt and t-shirt and then settles onto a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me is now the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military style box with a faded label reading Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items: silver tweezers, vials of thick glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternatively living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. I don't feel like he's appreciating my humour, so I feel like I should just move on. He glances skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instructions as I flip it over. Zombies, necromancers, abominations made of bones, flesh and cabbage swirl in front of his face like a mesmerising kaleidoscope. And all of this lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use the bathrooms now. It would be great if he didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all of this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up, or if he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something at the Stone Age, suggest that he could have. The guy has a killer's gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point, let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? It's simple. You've got lacerations, claws, teeth and a bit of saliva, possibly very contagious. It seems the damage was psychological. Tell me about your tragic past, as it says in the handbook. Yeah, as I said, he doesn't really seem to appreciate the sort of sarky sort of humour, so I feel like just keeping it simple with him. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valour. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego, adds at the end, wounds from a real rabid beast, buddy. Shake your head, you really need to stop with these fights. They won't lead to anything good. Stop medical discussions and just move on to the next point. I don't know if I want to stroke his ego. I feel like if I say this, I'm talking to him like I'm his mother or something. Do you know what? I'm going to test him. I feel like he doesn't appreciate the humour, but I feel like he maybe likes the rapport of the back and forth. Okay, let's say you really need to stop with these fights. They won't lead to anything good. He blinks in surprise. He doesn't understand whether I'm joking or showing concern. Either way, both things annoy him. Everything annoys this guy. Oh, he did like it. And you need to stop dishing out advice and learn to do your job in silence. They say that's an incredibly useful skill. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. Now all that's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar and... Suddenly, he grabs my hand. Do something wrong, I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. Jesus, calm down with the threats, my guy. There is no need to be like this. Say in a calm, icy tone, allow me to do my job, sir. I will be extremely careful. If you touch me, my boss will rip your soul out through your ass. Pull your hand away. You know, you have this fantastic talent for coming up with threats. You should write scripts for action movies. No way, I'm a pathetic, miserable, harmless cashier. Let's not say that, we're not going to put ourselves down like that. Let's maybe say this one. Well, we liked it. I suppose it's just a matter of experience, probably. And you, well, watch what you're doing, and there will be consequences. It seems he just heard the best compliment of his life. Oh, what is that stuff? I apply this black goo to the wound. What was that? A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. Is it? He's been very stoic and grumpy so far. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. Pour a little more goo on him, restore some justice. Be more careful. What does that mean, restore some justice? Let's try that. My hand jerks accidentally, and a generous dollop of black goo splats right in the centre of the massive wound. The hissing grows louder, and the smoke thickens. David grits his teeth. The tough guy is helpless. He can't tell the act of revenge from a medical procedure. The ointment punishes him for all of his sins. Okay, now he's just shirtless for no reason. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds are really healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. He's driving me crazy, even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. I just want to help, lie, you want tips, and to go home, play The Sims, and watch stupid shows. While that is true, I don't want to say that one. I just want to help, truth. You're an angel of mercy from the dirty gas station. These are my work obligations. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't bother with you. As much as he's annoyed me, that seems a little mean, so I'm going to say this one. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. I can't watch someone suffer. Let's just say I have certain fetishes. Smirk playfully, yeah, let's not say that one. I'm also really struggling to say fetishes for some reason. Let's say I can't watch someone suffer. Wow, God bless your noble heart. He shifts awkwardly. Clearly, he's uncomfortable and unaccustomed to being the object of compassion, so he immediately hides behind yet another sarcastic comment. But what can I do? I feel sorry for every little kitten on the street. Sometimes I even feel sorry for especially large, nasty, troublesome kittens. It must be tough living with someone like that, huh? I bet you have 40 cats living in your apartment, and all of them are strays. Did he just read my mind? Oh, David reads me like an open book. It's amazing that he can even read at all. Yes, sis, drag him! Most of the time, help isn't altruistic. People always want something in return. Money, a favour, for you to take them off the hook. Helping people for no reason is like throwing shit against the wind. Alright, moving on. Screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Oh, he just looks annoyed. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So, the client is fed, clean and healed, and yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the tip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead, he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Once again, the music absolutely slaps in this game. I'm a big fan of the music in this. Are you planning to pitch a tent in here? Can I do anything else for you, sir? Cautiously step back. Have you decided to eat me after all? This isn't the best place to crash, buddy, but there's a vampire hotel 2 blocks down. I'm not too sure which one to say. I don't feel like saying the bottom one, because once again, he doesn't seem to find us funny at all. Even though I think we're hilarious, personally. And I'm not going to say this one. I feel like it'll just annoy him if I keep assuming he's trying to eat me. Let's say, are you planning to pitch a tent here? David snorts, hearing the impatience in my voice. What? Already tired of my company, doll? I leave when I want to leave, and I don't want to yet. Right, I'm only asking, my guy. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder by regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence, and no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome? Or does he mean my lack of a criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a grey collar. Does your face always look like funny when you're thinking about something? My guy, you were going to get smacked. Vampire or not, I still think I could take him on. I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? What weaknesses will I have? And who were you before the bite? Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire, who vamped you. Wrap it up with a question I'm ready to tell you. Okay, so we need to ask these questions first before we answer. And who were you before the bite? He opens his mouth, ready to tell me off or mention something about butts again, but stops himself. Probably his thank you sealed our fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's probably not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was a nobody. I was just surviving as everything went to hell, unlike all those bastards born with a silver spoon up their ass. You ever see those happy American families in TV commercials? They sit at the table with a bowl of salad, smiling like idiots, and they always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was a smack on the head. He did teach me how to shoot properly though. Oh, that sounds horrible. I left my family dump early. It's really dumb, but I thought I'd start a band and become a rock star. He does give off that vibe, doesn't he? But as they say, wish in one hand, in the other, see which one fills up faster. At first, I worked wherever I could, then found some guys to do some shady stuff with. There aren't many ways to make a living in the Los Angeles area. Can't exactly work the cash register, right? David jabs again, but without malice. The antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes, but it hasn't affected me yet. I just want to quickly pause here to apologise if there's a lot of cuts in this video. I'm having to take breaks now and then to have some water and sort of just clear my throat. As I'm sure you guys can see, this is a lot to read, so it's better for me to just take pauses. So that's why there'll be a lot of cuts in this video, but I'm hoping you guys don't notice too much. But anyway, let's get back to David. I wonder why. Yeah, being a gangster would be cool, doing gangster things, riding motorcycles. Hey, working the cash register isn't so bad. It would be even better without customers like you. Make no comment. Let's say that. Sorry to bruise your pride, doll. I have nothing against cashiers. It's just not the job for me. There's a hint of doubt in his voice, as if he's not quite sure what job is for him and what isn't. Maybe he'd actually make a good cashier, or an English teacher. He just missed out on having his own dog, a happy family, and a bowl of salad. That's it. That's the whole story. What about you? Oh Lord, this is my chance to make up something cool, or just tell it like it is. I think we should just tell it how it is. I have a single parent family and an art degree, and no dog. Tell the truth. Let's say that. He listens to how I ended up in this dump, about my job search, and everything else. I didn't sell drugs in alleys, but it seems we still find some common ground. Got it. You're not in your element. David truly understands. Neither he nor I wanted to end up where we are. Neither of us know what to do next. And we both love cheap noodles, but he can't eat them anymore. I win. You must be tired of those draw me requests, huh? I would draw you. Okay, let's get back to the... let's say that. Oh, like a French girl? Okay, I feel like he's warming up to me a bit more. He tries to look nonchalant, but his eyes show that he's interested. Go ahead, I love beautiful doodles. It'd be really funny right now if we just drew like a little stick figure. He says the word doodles with such strange tenderness that it sounds more like a compliment than an insult. I pick up a pencil. Draw something funny, draw him as he is. I'm going to draw him as he is. He doesn't seem to appreciate my humour, as I've said. Wow, what a face. I almost forgot what I look like. Bags under my eyes like a junkie. Silence hangs in the air while David examines the drawing. He clearly doesn't know how to react to this unexpected little act of normalcy. Looks cool. The last words are spoken in a barely audible, almost reverent whisper, unlike anything I've ever heard from him before. 2 simple words said with all the sincerity this guy can muster. I can do something too. David takes the pencil from me and with deep concentration, almost sticking out his tongue, scribbles something. He drew me? Is this meant to be me? Hey, we're pretty! A few minutes later, a drawing appears before me. I never would have thought this guy was capable of that. Mine's cooler. You draw better than me and I have an education. Wow, beautiful. Okay, let's just keep it cool, I guess, and say beautiful. David clears his throat, embarrassed. Nothing special, just a doodle. I was into it a bit when I was a kid. Comics, all that stuff. Nothing serious. I take the drawing for myself. Alright, where were we? Let's say, what weaknesses will I have? Well, no more tanning, no reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier, depends on the situation. A steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. Okay. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? Let's ask this next. A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Hey, you better not be slagging off Twilight, because I love my Twilight, if that's what you're implying. Looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. Now, we're gonna have problems if he's slagging off Twilight. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones. Dr. 𝗪𝗏 couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity. Literally. Okay, well, that sounds horrible. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking bills. Maybe the sorcerers aren't all that bad if they're like Bob. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode, literally, with just a glance. But not all of us are such wicked. We don't even have to kill a person to eat, just drink a little, instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trough? I think that is. But some don't care, they just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. And which of these do you have? And which of these do you have? Let me guess, none? Can vampires open beer cans with their minds? This one's kind of silly, but I kind of want to ask. Can vampires open beer cans with their minds? Oh, they sure can, but they can't drink beer afterward. When I was just recently turned, about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. Got it. I don't want to know what happened to your spaghetti. I want to, and what happened? I threw up farther than I could see, puking out blood and meatballs, left some graffiti and a bit of pasta on the wall. The guy who cleaned it up probably thought a whole spaghetti monster exploded in that alley. Mamma mia, no more pasta, pizza, no delicious food, that's terrible. Giving up human food is a small price for immortality. Let's say that. You got it, exactly. I miss pizza. My buddy used to say you always have to sacrifice something. In our case, it's pizza. It sounds silly, of course, but in reality, it sucks. Still, you get used to it over time. I also would miss pizza. I can see he's lying. David lives in a spaghetti-less hell. What kind of monster would doom someone to that? You can still order food delivery, by the way. Just this time, eat the delivery guy. He seems to enjoy. Okay. And which of these do you have? I've got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You can party all night long. Excuse me. All night long. Okay. I don't really know what to say to that. It's got me blushing a little bit. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. That's cute. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat piss a block away. Okay, let's just stay silent and let him continue. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. What does he mean by that? Are you sure the last one is due to your vampirism and not just because they're scared you'll beat them up? David lets out a sharp, raspy laugh. You're right. Most law-abiding citizens avoid me by 100 miles. It's a working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a subtle approach, you know? The word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realise they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone who's stuck in a web of artificial connections and ass-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion aren't the best foundations for a strong friendship. David, you're a creature stuck in a web of artificial... I can enchant friends for myself. Wonderful. I'll make someone give me their wallet. I feel like this one's more like me rather than this one, just calling him out for no reason. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Well, not exactly friends, more like underlings. You can hatch all sorts of cunning plans with human politicians, or, well, pay no rent. The last part sounds like music to my ears. He seems to enjoy... Okay. Back to your question, ask him about something else. Why did you watch Twilight? Oh my god, we have to ask this one. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. He's definitely watched Twilight. I hold a dramatic pause. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then the ceiling, anywhere but at me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh, filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it. Alright, I watch everything. I knew it! All Twilight movies. Watch The Lost Boys. Oh, hell yeah, Lost Boys mention. Interview with the Vampire, Blade. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know, hidden in all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be I read legends, searched for info online. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away, but sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies, one or the other. My favourite, by the way, was from Dusk Till Dawn. Good choice, good choice. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. You still haven't told me if you sparkle like Edward Cullen in the sun. Okay, he's probably not going to like us asking this, but we have to. He takes a deep, ragged breath. No, we don't sparkle. Want to know what happens if I step into the sun? I catch fire in the sun, as if someone poured gasoline on me and lit a match. Do you know what that smells like? Like fried chicken. It's nasty, excruciating, final death. Very brutal. Imagine the smell and slowly lick your lips. Hot men. Shake your head. Terrible, however. Let me ask you one more thing. I kind of want to say that. I love his face to that. What the hell is wrong with you? David has clearly dealt with violence, drugs and monsters, but a cashier craving fried vampire is clearly too much for him. You know, I've seen a lot of crap in my life, but this is the first time I see something like this. Do you have some kind of necro barbecue fetish? No, don't answer me. I don't want to know. I'll just pretend I didn't hear anything. Okay, we've officially weirded him out, which I'm pretty happy with. Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire, who vamped you. Let's say this one first. Yeah, a lot of people think about that first. But it's a bad idea to leave a trail of bodies of people you were somehow connected to. And your head quickly fills with other things, like, well, the fact that you're dead, and it's forever. So after you've been turned, you didn't find everyone who bullied you in school and beat them up. Honestly, this is probably something I would want to do, as maybe petty as it is. Let's ask him that. I usually beat them up right at school. Right. You might think I was some kind of bully, constantly pulling pranks, but I was actually quiet in class. Just messing around at the back of class, like an invisible man. Until some jerk started picking on me. Once, I smashed a globe over a guy's head because he mocked my sneakers. As if wearing clothes from Walmart made me worse than them. Good thing we don't have globes here. Okay, let's ask this last question. He didn't answer right away, just furrows his brows. Several long minutes pass in silence. Some old, stinking jerk. A lot is mixed into those 4 words. It's as if he both hates and mourns the old jerk. Probably that guy wasn't a contender for Father of the Year. I wait for him to continue, but he remains silent. He looks like an angry, cornered dog. It's unlikely he'll speak up on his own. And what did your old stinking jerk do? Don't call him that, damn it. Don't you dare. The rage in his eyes shifts to confusion, just for a brief moment, before he looks away. I mean, yeah, call him whatever you want, including an old stinking jerk. Immediately use your privilege, old stinking jerk. An unexpected, but I didn't expect him to like that. An unexpected but genuine laugh escapes his lips, a rough, abrupt sound. I'll come up with something more interesting. Count Chocula, monkey slope, bedbug. Count Chocula will say. He laughs. Yes, piece of crap. Count von Count. There's a tone of feverish joy in his voice, as if he's finally indulging in something forbidden and very enjoyable. David remains silent for a few more seconds before speaking. That jerk suffered from power seizures. That's all there is to say about him. No amount of booze could erase what that damn villain did in my memory. I suppose all old vampires are like that. It seems he won't tell me more about his vampire dad. Okay, I'm ready to tell you my decision. Excellent. He leans in a little closer, when suddenly we hear a wolf howling. Oh my god. Is a werewolf going to show up? I don't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Is this David? Oh, he looks so cute. Listen up. Don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you'll feel incredibly shitty. Oh, he's mad at me now, but it's hard to be mad at him when he looks so cute. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mutt, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. Like, dude, you don't have to keep threatening me like this. The threat in his voice is completely lacking, mostly because this voice now comes from a very small, though angry, bat. Werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. The creature steps inside. Oh my god, he is a big boy. Good evening, ma'am. A low rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? Should we say that? Ma'am? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. You want to pet me? He awkwardly shifts from paw to paw. That's very unexpected, and of course, flattering, ma'am. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of on duty, chasing, tracking the supernatural. He looks around nervously. Alright, you can, but just a little. I still have important business. Oh, we get to pet this big ass werewolf. I love it. I reach out and pet him. The fur is warm, soft and thick. I immediately feel a low vibration. The werewolf is quietly, silently purring. That's so cute. I don't think David's very happy about it. At first, it's a barely noticeable movement, but then his short fluffy tail starts to wag slowly but confidently from side to side. Oh, so cute. He's a good boy. A very, very big but good boy. He deserves praise. I'm the Princess Mononoke, is that how you pronounce it? I know that's a Studio Ghibli thing, of this gas station. Although David doesn't seem thrilled, I pull my hand back. Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since I've been... Anyway, thank you. So, getting back to the purpose of my visit. He's called Eddie? Apologies for this sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. He looks like he's grabbing himself now. You see, here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them. Well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker offered the other when he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seems patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably That's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, ma'am, vampires are parasites in the body of our society. They drink blood like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality, and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive them a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So I'd be extremely grateful for any help. We can blackmail him? Grab David and hand him over to the werewolf. Let the wolf leave a tip. Oh no, we're not going to give David away as much as we like Eddie. That threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's small, trembling and helpless. He's my Oh, that's cute. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He's probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanour throws him off. Strange. Well, okay. If he shows up, just give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good night, ma'am. Good night, Eddie. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out of his hiding spot. You could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes as if he's trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made of. And that would have been the sensible decision. But I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. David says this with genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me and now doesn't quite know what to do with that gratitude. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. I take everything that life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders, and when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. Serve the internet, decay and rot, nothing would change. One could enslave humanity, or at least one neighbourhood in this city. You could learn so many things, read so many books, even learn to play the saxophone. Let's say this one. He chuckles. Oh, still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road of adventure led you to a stinky gas station. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited to this lousy town. He says this quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. As if he's just remembered there's something beyond this cage of alleyways and gangland showdowns. Here, for future adventures. David is about to turn around and leave when he suddenly stops. He pulls a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket, scribbles a number on it, and leaves it on the table next to my hand, but just as I reach for it, his hand covers mine, pressing it to the table. His skin feels cold, rough, from barely visible scars and blisters. This grave-like chill sharply contrasts with the warmth of my own hand. I feel a slight tingling, like static electricity. Call me if you need a ride from work. I've got a couple of ideas for what we could do before dawn. Is he flirting? See you. David says goodbye and leaves. The gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. Hang the drawing on the wall, do nothing. Oh, we've got to hang the drawing on the wall. For someone obsessed with astral-related threats, surprisingly, his hands are quite skilled. Now, I also have a date invitation from a guy who wanted to make me his dinner half an hour ago. I don't even know what's worse, this or the offer to go home in a bone carriage, though something tells me that if I accept, I might not return home at all. I survived another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Hooves? This is definitely not another vampire. And on that note, I'm gonna leave this episode here, but there will be another part to this where we meet this new monster and see what happens with him. So I highly recommend that if you're not subscribed already, that you do so you don't miss the next part. And I really hope you guys are enjoying watching this series. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, as it really does help me out. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!